Hey there, it's Nicola Milan from singersecret.com. If you want to sing with better vocal tone, I have 4 simple tips for you that will help you smooth out your tone and start sounding better, regardless of whether you've been singing for 5 minutes or 5 years. Everybody wants to improve their vocal tone, and the biggest complaints that I get from singers regarding vocal tone are things like sounding nasal, sounding shrill, having a thin and weak voice, sounding raspy. So these are the sorts of problems that we're talking about when we start talking about vocal tone. Now, vocal tone isn't to be confused with vocal timbre. Now, this is a funny little word, and it's spelled timbre, but it's actually pronounced timbre. And this refers to the overall sound of your vocal. For example, someone like Mariah Carey has quite a wispy, clear tone to her voice, whereas Rihanna has almost a squashed, harsher, more nasal sounding tone. And then again, someone like Adele has a rounder, more powerful kind of fuller sounding timbre. So these, you don't, even though we call it, oh, she's got a vocal tone, don't confuse timbre with vocal tone. Now, to improve your vocal tone, you do need 3 things. You need to improve your airflow through your instrument as you sing. You need to improve your muscle strength to support your vocal folds. And you need to improve your vocal placement. And vocal placement is where you resonate the sound around your instrument. Those are the 3 things that you do need that really affect vocal tone. However, these things take time to develop, and I did say that these tips were for people who had 0 experience. So I'm going to give you 4 little shortcuts right now. Tip number 1, decrease your volume and use a microphone instead. Now, this little tip does come down to muscle strength. If you're in the car or you're at home and you're singing along to your favourite song, and we've all done this, when the chorus comes on and the big notes are there, we all want to sing along with it and go as loud as the singer sounds. I mean, that's the fun part. I've done it, we all do it. But the problem is that if you're singing at a volume that's too loud for your muscles to support your vocal folds, because you're actually putting a lot of friction on your vocal folds, actually vocal cords, but they're actually called vocal folds at the time, then not only will you sound bad, but you will also potentially risk injury. When it comes to singing, you've got to think of yourself as a bit of an athlete. You wouldn't go into a gym and start lifting the really, really heavy weights straight away, because if you did, you would just get sore or potentially pull a muscle and injure yourself. The exact same thing applies to singing. You need to build up your muscle strength, and that has to happen over time. But for now, I suggest decreasing your volume, and if you want to get some volume, use a microphone. Not only will this take the strain away from your vocals, but you need to get used to using a microphone anyway. In pretty much every single musical genre, microphones are required at a professional level. I think they've even started using them for opera at the moment. So you've got to get used to using a microphone anyway, and when you're beginning, it is better to sing a soft note and sound really nice than to sing a really loud note and sound crap. But use a microphone to get the volume that you need for now. Tip number 2 is warm up before you sing. This one is a little bit of a no-brainer. Your voice will sound better if you warm up before you sing. And this goes for whether you are a beginner or a professional. It's the same. Your voice will sound better once it's warm. And warming up should be a crucial part of singing. It doesn't have to take long. If you would like me to take you through a warm-up exercise, I'll actually put a link to one that I've done for beginners in the description below that you can check out next. But just do it for 5 minutes before you sing, and it will improve the quality of your vocal. Tip number 3 is make sure you're taking in enough air. This tip has everything to do with breathing and airflow, so that's the air that's flowing through your instrument as you sing. Now, when you're having fun and you're singing the big power notes that I know you're going to still sing, that we talked about in the first little tip about volume, when you're still singing those, it's easy to forget about your breathing. And this is why it's so important to make sure you've done your breathing training and your exercises, so that breathing effectively for singing is a habit and it just happens naturally without you thinking about it. Now, but before you've got that habit down pat, if you're going to go for those big notes, make sure you just take a big breath before you go for them and you will sound better. Tip number 4 is open your mouth wider when you sing. Opening your mouth wider when you sing makes an immediate difference to the quality of your sound. Most people don't realize they're not opening their mouths enough. So to test yourself, I recommend either recording yourself on your iPhone or singing in front of the mirror and watching how much you open your mouth. Now, opening your mouth wider does take a little bit of practice to get used to, and you feel like you're opening your mouth like really, really wide, like ridiculously wide, when in actual fact, you're not actually opening it that wide at all. This is why, again, I recommend you either record yourself or do it in front of a mirror to see what you really look like. So there you have it, 4 simple singing tips that will help you improve your vocal tone no matter how long you've been singing for. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe, because I put new videos up all the time and you don't want to miss out. Also, head on over to my website, singerssecret.com, and hop onto my email list, because I do put singing tips and secrets into those emails that I don't share anywhere else and you don't want to miss out. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nicola Milan and I'll talk to you again soon.